Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a request from my friend Mike, OCP. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, topic, reaction, commentary, review, video game playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, CashApp is a possibility as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. And this is for the film Deathcember, which I forgot he reviewed. Because when this popped up, I'm like, what is this movie? Deathcember. It's an anthology. And to my surprise, sadly, it's a 2.5 hour anthology. There's not a lot of good horror anthologies out there. You have your Creep Show, Tales from the Hood, Trick or Treat, Cat's Eye, ABCs of Death, especially the second one is fine. Couple of the VHS ones, VHS 2 and VHS 85, I think. But there's a lot more bad ones. There's your Creep Show 3s. There's your... I forgot what it was. Veronicas with a K. There's Street Tales of Horror. There's Hoods of Terror. There's Tales from the Hood 2, Tales from the Hood 3. There's Holidays. There's some pretty bad ones out there. This one, 2.5 hours because it's 24 stories. 24 stories. Think about that. You have to attain your attention for 24 of these things. Now again, ABCs of Death 1 and 2 did that as well, because it was the alphabet. That's asking a lot from an audience to hang in there for that long of a running time. Especially if stories start not working. ABCs of Death 2, at least, they didn't put themselves in the corner that they had to be about holidays, Christmas. And also I think some of them, especially the second one, was just better made and had a better ratio. There's maybe 2 stories and an inkling of Diva Fuckus about. Yes, Diva Fuckus. I cared about at all. So that's over 20 stories of just, they're either pointless, or why is this in a horror anthology, or why is this in someone called Deathcember that's about Christmas, or this has nothing to do with Christmas, what's the deal here? And I don't know if I'll talk about all of them, but I'll talk about a chunk of them. Like I said, I did not know this would be a 2.5 hour movie, man. Let's get into it, because it's going to be a long one. The first, because it's supposed to be based on the Advent calendar. And it has this, like, it's like a bad video game, the menu is, where each time a story's done, it goes back to this menu. And maybe not a video game, but like a bad DVD menu from back in the day. That's more appropriate. Like a bad CG DVD menu. And then when it gets to the story, it goes into this object in this room. And the whole room's like CG. I swear it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like it. And it'll go into this, and then the story's over, comes back, and it goes over to this. I'm like, is there an option to just close the whole damn thing and eject the disc and burn into the sun? Is that an option? Please? I'd rather have my dick tied to a fucking frozen icicle pipe. And I bend over and lick it myself. There's a cherry popsicle. Yes, I'd rather suck my own dick than watch this movie again. At least I would get more suspense and more, I don't know, feeling than numb. grave it was tied. Well, I'm not too stupid. I know I'm not too stupid. I'm goofy and I'm making sense. I know. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Because they didn't give a fuck making this shit. I mean, the first story, you gotta really bang it out of the gate. Your first impression. It's gotta be a strong one. And instead, a door too far. Some fat ass kid is eating the chocolate out of the little calendar. Probably stole it from that kid from Bad Santa. He hogs them all. He eats another one. Can't even wipe his face. He's acting like a fat pig. I guess this is German. Just people speaking German. He goes to a shop, steals their calendar. Which I'm like, kid, it's only $1. Stop being a cheapskate and pay for it. The owner, someone comes by, got a little, hey, you like to eat, huh, you fat fuck? Kid runs off, sleeps, he rolls around, doesn't sneeze, but I'm allergic to the bullshit. Then it looks like he shit himself, but really it's like he there's chocolate on him, but it might as well be shit stains. He turns, it's like bad fading in and out. Until it's black, the screen's black, then apparently he's been turned to one of those little chocolates, and I guess his sister eats them, and then the story's over. No big special effects, no big ideas. A kid's fat, turns to a chocolate, gets eaten. The end. What a way to start your damn anthology. All Sales Fatal, Tiffany Shepis. Because this came out 2019, so I'm okay. I know I've seen a few stuff with Tiffany Shepis. I don't mind her. She's an entitled mom, ready to return her toy. She has a fight with this clerk. They both start beating each other up, using staple guns. They stab each other with pins. They're dying. She finds the receipt. He's like, fine, I'll take a look at it. And I guess they both die of their wounds. Maybe if I say there's a third one, I could deal with that. Because I don't mind Tiffany Shepis. Anyone who's worked retail will understand dealing with bitchy customers. Kind of over the top humor and how, violent it gets. At least there's a bit of fun to be had. Also, for some reason, Jeffrey Reddick, the writer of Final Destination, he's outside as a Santa ringing the bell, and he's not a good actor. Stick to writing, because acting's not your forte. I think just because, it was cool to see Tiffany Shepis, that's why I'll give that one maybe a thumbs up just for that. Compared to all the other stuff. 3, Aurora, have no idea what the hell this was about. It takes place in the future. Apparently there's some seed entry imminent. And this lady is looking at some plants or seeds. And, if it's trying to be this sci-fi epic with no dialogue other than a computer saying something is coming, and this Asian lady's looking at stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on though. So, and I've jack shit of all of an idea as what this has to do with Christmas. Because it'll show the Earth, and it'll show these other factories, and I felt like this short had a little bit of a budget for some reason. But what do these see? What any of this has to do with December, Christmas, holidays? Nothing that I could see. I didn't see any reference to any of that. And then it ends with she gets infected and she dies. There's nothing to this. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. You don't have nothing with the characters. And that's the thing, when you put so much into one anthology, and so the stories are so short, because there's no time to write a character, to write a story, to implement a story, to build it up, to really have a satisfying payoff, you're not doing a whole lot because you have no amount of time to work with, other than you hope to have one joke or one gimmick or one aha moment. And it's very, very hard to try to create a story within such a small amount of time. That's why a lot of these fail. Is like what was Aurora? Aurora. What the hell was it about? What the fuck does that have to do with Christmas? I don't know. Someone in the future, someone sees something infects her, she dies. Number Xmas on fire. This is not horror, this story. It's a heist gone bad. What that has to do with a horror anthology that's called Deathcember, I have no idea. It's literally a group of people trying to act like Reservoir Dogs. You're Mr. Yellow, you're Mr. Black. Oh, the choice of names are insensitive. And I recognize the lead guy. It's Steven D'Souza. The guy who helped write Commando. The guy who directed Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's Steven D'Souza. I'm like, no wonder he looked familiar, because I've seen him in interviews. They do a heist. They wear Santa suits. The clerk gets a gun, scares them off. You find out that the clerk and Steven D'Souza had a plan before, but then the two of them were going to work together to screw other people over, but the clerk screws everybody over. The guys run outside, you hear them get shot up. When the clerk comes out, he sees that the cops and crooks have been all shut up. A cop... Don't make me... This is the line she says. Don't make me shoot a brother on Christmas. Don't make me shoot a brother on Christmas? I'm a bit surprised they got away with that line. But then they all start seeing the dead people on the ground, the cop, the clerk, Steven D'Souza. Sleep in heavenly peace. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody singing Silent Night, Holy Night? That was just a weird one. The only interest is like Steven D'Souza's acting, okay. But what does that have to do with horror? Why is that in a horror anthology? Valencios, whatever the hell. This is one of the few I didn't mind, because it was simple, but I liked the way it was shot. I thought it was actually a pretty simple but good looking short, where this family's around a kid who is in bed, hooked up, and the only thing keeping him alive is the carolers. Because they turn on music, it does nothing, he flatlines, but the carolers sing up, it picks back up. So it does one tracking shot where the mom goes down, gets the carolers, they all come up, they go in the room, the camera goes back, and it has like the carolers over here, the parents over here, and then the camera stays there, but it's a time lapse where you see time go by, where the characters are getting older and everything's happy. The carolers keep singing, and you see them go from kids to adults to old to sometimes dead. There's a point where some people get married and they get older, and then like apparently 40, 50 years go by in this time lapse to the point there's like an apocalypse, and then all that's left is one caroler amongst like these dead bodies, and then the guy who's now old gets up, and then the total irony is that they kept him alive for so long just for him to kill this caroler, and that's the ultimate irony. So it's like, man, if they just let this person die, everybody would have been saved. But the fact they let this person live to be such an old, and it wasn't even a good person. If was a person who went psycho and killed the one remaining person that kept you alive. Again, that shows the total irony, the total. I get what they were going for. I thought it was kind of interesting. It kind of made me laugh, and that was one of the few that I got a chuckle out of. And I liked the way it was shot. I thought it was visually interesting. Joy to the girls. A guy wants to hook up with some ladies. The three ladies kill the guy, cut his throat, drink it. They talk to another guy. That's it. I don't even know what the hell this had to do with Christmas, other than joys in the title. This really had nothing to do with Christmas. It could have been any other holiday. It could have been any other thing. Valentine's, St. Patty's Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day. It could have been any day. It's just a useless, pointless endeavor. It's not scary. It's not creepy. It's not funny. There's nothing to it. Hunchback. It tries to be black and white silent film where the Hunchback's ready to be burned up. He gets a pardon, gets presents. Everything's hunky-dory, everything's fine, but he imagined it. It was all a dream, like a hallucination, daydream, before he actually gets burned up and killed. I mean, I kind of figured something was going to come up because of this, because usually these things, that's the thing. When so many things keep having a twist, you expect the twist. So when the twist comes up, it's not as surprising. Now, not every single one of these have a twist, but so many of them so often have a twist within this anthology alone. I mean, the twist of A Door Too Far, the kid becomes a candy. The twist of All Sales Fatal, oh, she happened to have the receipt the whole time, so the fight could have been not happened. The twist on Xmas on Fire, oh, the clerk screwed everybody over. The twist on Valencio, oh, the person finally got out of the coma when they're 70, 80 years old and then kills the caroler. So you just expect something to happen. And when you expect something to happen, you expect a twist to happen. When it happens, you're not as surprised. And I thought the makeup on the Hunchback wasn't the best. So I just didn't give a rat's ass about that. Family Matters, not the TV show. Some guy goes to his girlfriend's or his fiance's parents, and there's a ritual where they cut his stomach, and I guess the dad puts his alien worms into him and says, "Welcome to the family." I keep thinking Resident Evil 7. Welcome to the family, son. So then the guy looks in the bathroom and he does this, and you see this CG worm thing go across his eye into the. It's like, okay. Like, I don't know what am I supposed to think about that? Did I think it was clever? No. Did it have cool practical effects? No. Was it creepy? No. Did I find it funny? No. So you kind of you want to ask the people who made this, what am I supposed to feel about that? What am I supposed to think? What reaction are you gauging? What reaction are you trying to get out of this? Crappy Christmas, this was the most disappointing because it's very ballsy and very cringe. Like, it's done in stop motion. It's the only one done in stop motion. Done like Gumby style. I mean, the main character almost looks like Gumby. Not quite, but almost. It's about a little. There's no dialogue. It's a little boy, innocent boy, who gets picked up and blue pill. Like, this Gumby boy gets raped by a priest and someone, not quite the Pope, but looking like the Pope. Obviously supposed to be a take on, what happened, that sadly a bunch of kids did get that from priests. And they do it because it's stop motion. The director tries to get away with being very shocking, where one of them takes a blue pill and gets a huge erection and slams it in. Another one, they use a toy. Then the kids in the cell being steered, and then I don't know if it's Santa or Krampus. I want to say maybe Krampus because it's like a. Then you see a furry arm. One of them comes by, opens up the door, gives them presents, and then I'm like, okay, the kid gets revenge. I'm like, okay, like you have this awful, shocking stuff. This is a bit much. That again, the only way that you get away with this is because it's stop motion. Because if they try to do this in real life, no way, it would never be done. Well, that's not true. There would be people that would do it, but it would. I don't think it would not have been on this. But because it's stop motion, they're like, okay, we'll let you get away with it. But okay, if they're going to get their comeuppance, and it does a very gory fashion where the kid gets a shotgun and blows someone's head off. He makes one impaled on a dick. I'm okay. This is like violent fashion. They're getting what they deserved. The kid's going home. And I'm sitting there going, oh, this is going a bit too long. There's something going to happen, right? Lo and behold, the kid goes across the road and he gets run over. Splat. And I went, well, you killed that. You couldn't leave well enough alone. You had something going and you killed it because some people just have to force some kind of twist onto it. Thinking they're clever. Well, you're not. You fucked up the story. So now it just makes the whole thing not work because so I get it. It's called Crappy Christmas. The kid went through crappy enough, but then at least the revenge was justified and satisfying. But then you screw one over, you put one over the viewer and screw him over. Then screw you. How about that? Fuck that short. Could have been good, but they fucked it up. Rochelle, you just say the whole thing with this whole anthology. Maybe like a horror themed anthology that's about Christmas maybe could have been good. But don't have it be 24 damn stories. Bit much. One's called Five Deaths in Blood Red. It's trying to be Giallo. I want to be Giallo, but I don't really care about Giallo. I mean, there's some I liked. Deep Red, I liked. Phenomena, I liked, but since I'm not hardcore on the genre, I was kind of whatever. They purposely have bad ADR. A few people get killed. It ends with the killer kills one person, puts their heads in... Kills one final person, puts their heads in Christmas present boxes, and it's all over. So it's like, whatever. Maybe you're a hardcore Giallo fan. You'll enjoy that. Kill Santa... A mom is with her daughter, and I think they're complaining about her husband. They're in a store, there's a Santa, and the mom chops the head off the Santa. And really bad CG where, you could tell like when the head's off, like you could tell that, I don't know how to put it, that there's, I don't know, like, After Effects, something about where you could tell there's something put in place to where his head was supposed to be or is no longer there. Just something about it. Just the way it was cut off was just too clean, too swift, and it looked fake. Is what I'm getting. It did look fake. And what the story was that is that the husband, or is his husband like? I don't know. Maybe it was and I missed something. If so, I apologize. But that's really, there's not much of a story to really get into. Bad Santa, that one's confusing. The parents are talking with the kids and about this legend of a bad Santa. the kids are sleeping. Someone who kind of looks like their dad, but has like, well, the dad sets up a prank with the mom, has the Santa suit with some makeup on. He comes in. The boy's scared. The daughter comes in, stabs the hell out of that Santa. So, like, okay, the girl killed her dad to protect her brother, just thought he was bad Santa. But then the boy wakes up, which I don't know how you would go to sleep after watching your dad get killed by your sister. Why you would go to sleep, I don't know. Unless you fainted and passed out. No, he wakes up and then his dad is fine, and his sister's there, and the mom's there, and I'm like, was this meant to be like a big prank? Like the sister was in on the prank to seem like she killed her dad in front of the brother? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck the deal was with that. I'm not going to go all of these. One of them, Rodero Diodato, who did Cannibal Holocaust, did one. And pretty much just a woman goes home. She sees her family dead. Then you realize the family's playing a prank. They open the door, and I guess the woman, instead of, I don't know, calling the cops, calling 911, tried to see who the killer was, she just hung herself outside the door. And you can tell that some of the kids and the dad, whoever, is like sad, but the mom doesn't seem that bit. I don't know. I don't know what the hell was the deal with that was either. And also doesn't help that it kind of reminds me of Bad Santa, where it's like, it's a prank, but it's a, that, whatever. I didn't give a shit. I'm like, what was the point of this? What's going on? What happened? Huh? So yeah, Melted Cookies. That is one of the only ones worth a spit. Because I actually, for a short amount of time, I actually told a story where you tell the kid has a dad, you could tell is abusive by the way he yells. And the kid, you tell he keeps writing Santa, and he keeps getting certain things. Like, for example, he's locked in a room, and he writes for Santa to help him get out of the room. So Santa took the doorknob off. The dad thinks the kid is doing this, so one night the kid has like a big bruise on his eye. You see him write something. Now, we know what it's going to be, and then lo and behold, I don't know if this guy's meant to be the actual Santa, because he's like a thin guy, and I don't think he doesn't have a beard. So I don't know, maybe it's just a guy who's just, maybe it's a homeless guy, or hey, I get free cookies and milk, I'll do it. Goes up, kills the dad. But it saves the kid and the mom. You tell that they were getting abused. And then the kid goes, thank you, Santa. Like, that's my, I mean, at least I told a story. At least, I mean, I wouldn't say it has a twist, but yeah, I wouldn't even say it's a twist. It's kind of just a natural ending to what was set up. Like, okay, I see where that's going, and then it didn't try to do a stupid swerve. Swerve, bro, like Vince Russo. So yeah, that's really, I would say that was the best one. I actually kind of wish maybe like the father's acting wasn't the best, and if they had like maybe a couple replacement actors for a bit better acting, had a bit more room to breathe, that could have worked as just one of maybe 4 stories, 5 stories of a Christmas horror anthology. Not 24, man. All Men Are Pigs. That one is, there's a party and this woman seduces this guy. One leads to another. They tie him up. They beat him up. They torture him. Apparently the idea is these women they were attacked or abused or worse by other guys. So they'll find, when they did like a new recruit, they'll find the man who did her wrong and put out some justice. Only the thing is, this is the wrong guy. Like, they put a pig mask on him and they beat him up and they torture him a bit, but it's the wrong guy. Which is apparently, I guess, at the bar. I say party, but it was like a bar. Someone took the wrong coat. So they even say it's the wrong person. And they kind of look at each other. And so there's a tape measure that's been made into a weapon. They put up the guy's nose. And they say something to the effect of, "It doesn't matter. They're all the same. Because all men are pigs." Great, let's have some woke feminist bullshit put in this. That would make me feel better. That makes me feel a lot better. That I'm already having such a crap time with your anthology. Let's throw in some stupid feminist woke bullshit. Imagine if that was reversed. Imagine you have a bunch of guys, and it's a woman, and then I'll put their dick up her nose. I don't know, just... So just these cum bubbles. I'm tired of that shit. Not the cum bubble. I'm just... All men are bad. All men are pigs. All men... Suck a dick. Please. One is Lucky McKee, which I haven't heard that name in a long ass time. He's one of those directors that people thought would be a big deal. I think he did May, among other films, but then he disappeared. It's like that one guy, Dante Tomaselli. There's a point they thought, oh, these are going to be some big directors. Then they just disappeared. His is one of the most pointless stories because it's a black and white short. Two guys in the days of the Wild West. They're pretty much sitting around talking. They hear noises. They get their guns ready. It pans away. You hear, ah, and then it ends. Talk about a bunch of blue balls. There's nothing to it. There's no monster. There's no fighting. There's no suspense. They talk about, I don't know, really nothing. I mean, I just say the monster, whatever, but since you don't see it or it doesn't fucking matter. Again, it makes me go, what was the point of this damn story? What was the point of this anthology story? What was the point? What was the damn point? Wasted damn motherfucking time. One story is these two clumsy lesbians are on the ice and they keep screwing up. One accidentally cuts the other's fingers off. Then as she's getting up, she accidentally puts her skate through the person's head. They're being clumsy with each other. One accidentally kills the other, runs off, and then gets hit by a car. Before sundown, didn't give a rat's ass about that. It's like 3 kids, don't give a shit about. One gets the other from a party. They tell the story about some Jewish monster. I didn't understand it. They're chased by a monster we never see. The boy falls down his bike. The girl grows up and kills it. Again, you never dare look at the monster. They go back home, and then that's it. It was like a big nothing burger. Like this entire fucking anthology. Cracker, if I have to give a fourth, like I mentioned, Valencios, the one with the carolers and the time lapse. All Seals Fatal with Tiffany Shepis fighting the clerk. Milk and Cookies about the kid and writing the Santa about his abusive dad. Maybe Tracker, maybe I could give some credit to, where it's like a dad and I think maybe they're two daughters and a mom or something like that. It's this game where you gotta like pull, and if you pull one end, you like read something. So the mom or like she's kind of out of it. Oh, tractors, pulls it, but she gets the wrong end, and her head explodes. And it pulls out, and apparently, this is part of population control, as they're all on a spaceship. I don't know, just the way it was shot, the look of it, and even at the end, it's like the company who runs the ship, they have like an advertisement. If you don't like what we do, we'll show you the door. Yeah, the door to go out into space. So that one, that seemed like okay. If there's one that I would not mind seeing a bit more of this world, that could be one. Like, what if, okay, you're on a ship, there's only so many supplies, they gotta do some population control, otherwise all the supplies will run out for everybody. So now you're forced to play this game. And, like, how. It does seem like something of interest to sink your teeth into. Compared to some of the others. I mean, the other stories, there's one later on about people at a party. I don't give a fuck. One guy kills a bunch of people, and he's in a Santa suit, including, like, goes in, kills, like, two kids and a mom, and apparently, like, kills some other people to rescue a reindeer who I think we're supposed to think is Rudolph. Because when he enters the room, like, we have work to do, and then you see this red light. So I guess the idea is, oh, that this red light means it's red. No, it means it's Rudolph. I mean, if that was more properly explained, like who were the mom and the kids? Did they have something to do with stealing Rudolph? Were the kids in on it, or did Santa just murder a bunch of innocent kids? Or is that meant to be Santa? Is that meant to be just a crazy guy who wants his fucking reindeer, but at the same time that's meant to be Rudolph? That seems like something that, again, if it was actually explained, if you actually had proper explanation, which you maybe can't do with a short amount of time, maybe that could have been something. Because he did shot up a bunch, but he won't stay down and die. So maybe that's an idea that he's more than just a regular human. But again, you just have to guess. Like a lot of these stories, you just have to guess. Maybe. Possibly. Like you said, there's a lot of times, like, you're going, what? Like, even Tractor, like, did that really have anything to do with Christmas? I guess, with some of the messages they got. I guess. But, like, the one with the Pioneer people in black and white, I don't really see what that had to do a whole lot with Christmas. Some of them were very, very loosely based. Like the guy going to see his girl's parents, I guess because it's Christmas dinner. Like someone's like, okay, put someone in a Santa suit, or yeah, just have it be a dinner. Yeah, it's Christmas dinner. But really, with one change, it could be like any other holiday, any other stuff. So, and just a lot of them just come off as rather pointless or boring or confusing or what? That's it? Anticlimactic. Like I said, I could count on one hand the amount that's maybe watchable. But more often than not, man, I'm kind of sitting here with my hand in my pants, playing with my balls, going, 2.5 hours. Okay, we got 20 minutes left. Okay, can we wrap this up, please? Move on with my life. If you're a diehard Anthology fan and you need to watch every Anthology, sure, be my guest. Maybe you'll get more out of it than I did. I'd rather sit here playing with my balls. That'd be more fun than watching this again. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.